Mokoko? Mokoko? Mokoko! The first boss, Deep Sea Ouroboros, is like a fun minigame. There are two different diving suits, one is melee and the other is ranged. The only important thing about the first boss is the Street Shark ad must be dealt with instantly, then the boss goes down easily. After this, all riders perform a cast-off, removing the diving suits and introducing a new mechanic, the breath bar. This new mechanic will persist from here on out for most bosses in the raid. There are two ways to refill your breath. One is to grab a kelp vine or to stand on top of a geyser. Now on to the second boss of this raid, Indolence's Sentinel Occam. Not gonna lie, this boss will be a test for your party. First things first, never stand behind the boss because he always does a back kick, doing big damage and adding a stack of petrified. And at 4 stacks, you will get petrified and will need to be broken out by a fellow Mokoko using auto attacks. These yellow orbs deplete oxygen, so be careful of them. When the boss does his white mechanic, everyone must go to the safe zone. After this ability is done, now is the best time for everyone to get some air. When he does this ground slam combo, the best thing for you to do is pray you don't get caught in it, because if you do, it's lights out for you. After learning these mechanics, this boss will go down super easy.
Now, on to the next raid. As you're walking in, you will see a grown-ass man named Calvin the Eroded Storm. We're just gonna call him Kevin. He's practicing his flag twirls because this weekend is the big fish versus little fish game. Now, don't be afraid of this big bear. He's only got a few things up his sleeves. One of the first things he will do is surround himself with a shield. When this happens, everyone must find the 2 mages and smash their shield and kill them. If this doesn't happen, it will result in a wipe. An easy way to find them is to look at your mini map and you'll see 2 icons. The next thing is the stagger check. We've all seen this before. Just do it. Or in this instance, just break it. Now, keep in mind, these pistol shots ain't no little BB guns. So make sure to always point them away from other Mokokos. The last of his important abilities is his 3 triangles that he will cast around him. The only important thing to know is to not stand in front of him. After that, this fake Sea King is in the dust as you move on to the next heavy hitter. Neftira, the Lady of Storms. And let's just say, she's everything but a lady when it comes to fighting her. The most common ability that will make your group fall apart is the failure to break this moving stagger check. If the Mokokos fail to break this ability, it can result in a raid wipe. Up next is her deadly pizza and whale combo, and trust me, all the boys come to the yard for this one. All you need to know is that if you see 4 slices, move out of the zones, or if you see 3 slices, dodge at the last second, or she's gonna sick the boys on you. The last of her major mechanics is this little fishy, and let's just say it's no flounder. When this pufferfish shows up on the scene and gets big, he needs to be dropped immediately, because if he reaches the boss, it will result in a wipe.
Once the queen goes down, it's time to deal with the easiest boss in the raid, Draken the Sea Lord. And honestly, he doesn't deserve that title because at the end of the day, he's a little baby turtle and just a mechanics check. Before starting the boss, make sure all Mokokos get into a circle like on screen. Everyone must take a spot and rotate clockwise in 2 different rotations. I'll explain that part in a bit. Now before this, the only thing you must take note of is the orbs on the ground and your stacks of yellow lightning. If you have stacks of any yellow lightning, it will slow you, so you must collect the correct number of orbs to remove the numbers of stacks you have. If you have any stacks of yellow lightning, it will slow you, so you must collect the correct number of orbs to remove the number of stacks you have. At bar 16, the first rotation type is 1, 2, 3, 4, and you stand outside of his AoE. And at bar 8, the second rotation type is 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. This time, you stand inside of his AoE. After mastering that, collect your loot because it's time for the big leagues. Don't worry, all the pros are waiting for you in the last wing of this 3-part raid.
The first boss here is actually a dynamic duo. While one team is beating up on the princess, the other team is taking care of the shark. The only thing that matters about this part is the light that spawns after you take down a few bars of HP. The light must be destroyed while killing as little black orbs as possible, because if you don't, lights will be out. Now, what you do is take this white light and go to the center of the room, because it's time to go to the lookout point. Whenever the team with the light arrives on the scene, both teams must go to the south or to the center of the map and wait for the princess's AoE to finish. If you move outside of the light, you'll die. That's it. The next raid wiping mechanic is the parasite that can spread. The only way to deal with this is to stand in a poison cloud that the princess will drop randomly throughout the fight. After the princess dies, the shark will do the same thing from earlier with the lights. This time, just kill the light and stand still, and all other Makokos collect on top of the light. Then you can solo him like I did, or make sushi, whichever you prefer. Just remember not to play with your food.
Before this next fight, you need to learn about the third boss. You'll need to get into the arrow shape on screen, and the thing to keep in mind is that he does this ability every 90 seconds. Then the two closest to the center can spawn in random spots. Now, time for the second boss. This boss is super easy. When you get the red light over your head, stand in front of any available pillar and dodge at the last second, or you will take massive damage. And that's it for that boss. He has a few ground abilities that you have to dodge, but he's honestly super simple and quick. After that, it's time to brawl. No, legit, it's time to fight, because instantly you are going to be thrown into the fight with Arsidon. Next is the good old stagger check at bars 28 and 12. But this time there's a twist. You must break the stagger bar quickly, then spread out and destroy the small orbs and stagger the big ones to kill them.
Remember those positions from earlier? Whenever the boss does this, it's time for all Makokos to get into their spots.
This boss does quite a bit of other abilities, but these are simple to avoid, and the main takeaway is to never stand in front of him. Once you master these things, this boss is a pushover, and as always, good luck out there and be nice to your fellow Makokos.